Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to St Andrews, home of Birmingham City Football Club. Wycombe Wanderers making their first visit here since the early 2000s, a Worthington Cup tie where the Chairboys lost to Peter Undlov goal, I seem to remember, after a 4-3 classic at Adams Park. But we are back in action tonight. Hope you can hear us loud and clear. Thank you for joining across Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. The team, Wanderers, have come out to warm up in front of me here at the stadium in their red and white quarters tonight. For the first time in 11 years that the Chairboys will have worn such a strip. Sponsored by Cherry Red Records, it's the third kit. And that'll be the kit that Wycombe Wanderers take on the Blues of Birmingham City tonight. Thank you to those of you who are joining the stream. Hope everything is coming through loud and clear here from the press box up in the gods at St Andrews. Birmingham coming out as well. They've won their last two games, late goals to see off Huddersfield and Preston respectively. But of course the Chairboys are very much improved since that disappointing start to the season, but they've come on leaps and bounds. Great performance at Reading not too long ago. Alan Parry's just joined me up in the press box. I bet AP's been here a few times with his Sky Sports roles and others. Guy Hubbard as well, saying hello over. He's here from Sky Sports. As I was saying, Wycombe greatly improved. It wasn't long ago we were at Reading, outplaying the league leaders and being very unfortunate to go down 1-0 that night. That game at Norwich, heartbreaker. We talked about last-minute goals going Birmingham's way. It certainly went against Wycombe that day at Carrow Road. But that night against Watford, I think, was a turning point for the Chairboys, wasn't it, at Adams Park? A fantastic performance against a star-studded former Premier League side. And we took that momentum into Saturday's game against Sheffield Wednesday. Got that first win, and now we're looking to continue that momentum here tonight. Now, you may have seen some breaking news that has leaked rather early. It was scheduled to come out tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday's points deduction has been reduced to just a 6-point deduction, meaning that Wycombe Wanderers currently sit bottom of the Sky Bet Championship. Obviously Wednesday started with a 12-point deduction, and that's been reduced to 6, so I think they've collected 11 points overall. They're now +5, and I think the Chairboys sit bottom of the league. Will that affect any morale or confidence? Absolutely not. Wycombe Wanderers are here to stay in the Championship on their own merit. How many points they pick up over the 46 games and what happens elsewhere will not make one jot of difference. So you may look at the league table before kick-off and think, oh, Wycombe Wanderers are bottom, how's that happened? Sheffield Wednesday have had that points deduction overturned and a move above the Chairboys, for a few hours at least. Let's see how the Blues get on tonight. You'll see the team news at the bottom of the screen. Wycombe unchanged again. It's exactly the same 18 that took to the field and sub-bench on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday. Ryan Alsop in goal, back four of Jack Grimmer, Joe Jacobson, Anthony Stewart and Josh Knight. What a performance he has been putting in ever since coming on loan from Leicester City at the start of October, just a month ago. Midfield, Curtis Thompson. Wow, what a game Curtis Thompson had on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday. Absolutely ran the show. Against, let's face it, a strong Sheffield Wednesday midfield, some international class in there, but Curtis Thompson head and shoulders above them. He's joined in midfield by Dennis Adeniran, and again, what an impact he has made since joining on loan from Everton. David Wheeler, the match winner on Saturday, and Daryl Horgan out wide. And up front, little and large, Adebayo Akinfenwa and Scott Cashkit. Where? I didn't see. That's how the Chairboys line up. Adebayo Akinfenwa and Scott Cashkit up top. Subs, David Stockdale returning to St Andrews. He's a former Birmingham City player. Probably didn't get the opportunities he will have hoped for in his 3 years, I think, at St Andrews ever since leaving Brighton. Ryan Tapazoli, Uche Piezu, Matt Bloomfield, Fred Onyedinma, Alex Samuel and Anis Mehmeti. Let's take you to our chat that we had with Gareth Ainsworth earlier this morning on Chairboys Live. He was speaking from his home in Finchampstead, talking about the back injury that has forced him to miss Saturday's game against Sheffield Wednesday and also tonight's game here at St Andrews. The manager will be watching live on iFollow, and I suggest you do the same as well. Go along to the Wycombe Wanderers website, book your match pass. It'll cost you £10. If you're a season ticket holder, you should get free access to watch the game, just as the gaffer will be doing. He announced live on Chairboys Live this morning the signing of Gareth McCleary, a really fast, attacking, exciting forward player who spent 8 years at Reading previously. He comes into the squad. He's been training with them for the last 10 days. Not involved tonight as he builds up match sharpness, but that was the breaking news on Chairboys Live this morning. But we also caught up with the manager about for his thoughts on tonight's game, putting his full faith in Richard Dobson to lead the boys again, as he did so well on Saturday. So here's just an excerpt from our chat with the manager this morning.
Yeah, the manager, let's start with him. Wow, I mean, promoted twice, I think, with teams to the Premier League. He has his really distinct style of play. He's I don't want to give too much away because they might get hold of this. I'm sure they'll be watching everything. So we've looked at that as well, and we've found ways that we think we can exploit that. But also they're dangerous. Set plays, they're very dangerous. They've scored crosses into the box. They're big lads. They're going to need some serious work on their organisation from set pieces. Huddersfield and Preston were very different games which they played in. So there's some fantastic players. I mean, you said Djukovic, and you're talking. Is he still in the Premier League? No, he's in the Championship, and he's playing against Wycombe Wanderers tonight. So that's the type of player that we're coming up against. There's players from Real Madrid playing tonight in his team. But there's some great players in the Wycombe team as well, and there's a fight and a spirit that the Championship, I believe, only has in a few teams. I think there's a few teams that are very Premier League, set up for the Premier League, and are very sort of chess orientated almost. It's a tactical game. It's a real football and purist game sometimes, and we're not going to be able to do that yet. We dream about going to them levels, but the fight and the spirit, and when we make these games and the passion and that defending on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday in the second half was very reminiscent of last season in a few games. And Wembley especially, people like Anthony Stewart really getting back to the best of his form and throwing himself in front of things, and Ryan Allsop, the solid keeper we've got. And they've all stepped up to Championship level, and it was brilliant to see Curtis Thompson have such a fantastic game, and the comments about Curtis afterwards. But it's not just Curtis, there's so many of those boys been told that they wouldn't have a career in League Two. And it's just brilliant to see, it's just awesome that we've got this togetherness. Oh, my dog's just trying to get in the air, It's brilliant. We've got this togetherness that will see us through in the Championship without a doubt, and we can build again. But to your original question, St Andrews, to Karanka, I'm gutted I won't be meeting him because I've got a huge amount of respect for him. But it's going to be tough. Every single game is going to be tough, Matt. But again, we're on a good place. We're in a real good place. I think the last 4 or 5 games have shown that, and we can replicate what we've been doing. We'll be fine.
So there we go then. The thoughts of Gareth Ainsworth just this morning, and he, like you, will be at home watching tonight's game. The warm-up's going on in front of me. Wycombe, as I say, in their red strip tonight, so they're over there on the far side. Unchanged starting lineup and subs, as you can see on the ticker tape at the bottom. And Birmingham also being put through their paces. Aitor Karanka, their manager, with good pedigree coming in from Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest previously. And as we said earlier, they've picked up 2 wins in the last 2 games, coming into the game on some confidence. Let's have a shout out to some of you. We're going to send our saludos over to Panama. Thank you to Hilda Brando for getting in touch. Ramos Wycombe, indeed. Tim Coombs, who I suspect a little closer to home. Come on, Wycombe, keep up the good work. Graham Brown, thanks for joining us on Chairboys Live tonight. Keep the faith, indeed. There's a prediction here for another goal from Kashkit. We would take that absolutely. DJ Samuel is also back in the Chairboys for 3 points tonight. Stuart Barnes, one of our loyal Chairboys Live followers, getting in touch. Come on, you mighty Blue men. Thank you, Stuart. Stephen McCafferty also sending his best for the Blues tonight. Alan Cecil, wonderful guy, and a wonderful photo there as well with a gorgeous little grandson of his and son of mine. Hello, Cooper. Up the Wick. I think that's a New Orleansian term, isn't it now? Come on, you Blues is the message from Jim Barnes. And also a good luck, get well soon message for the gaffer. Tracy Wyatt is looking forward to seeing the boys in red and white tonight. Thank you to Adrian for getting in touch. Also, Alissan and many others. Paula Barlow has been in touch. Kirsty Jane Barnes, thank you for your message. So many of you following Chairboys Live tonight as we look forward to kick-off in about half an hour's time. Thank you to David Gunning for getting in touch. Paul from Austin, Texas. Let's get you up on the screen. Here we go. Fantastic to have the worldwide Wanderers phenomenon in full swing, with many of you getting in touch from around the world and indeed from Rome. We have Christian following the game. Don't forget, you can all watch the game. It's live on iFollow. It's £10 if you're in the UK, only £7 I think in your equivalent currency anyway, from wherever you are in the world. So thank you to Alan Dragomir as well. Go Wycombe for 3 points today. That's certainly the aim. Now let's take you back to 1994. What were you doing? I certainly wasn't here at St Andrews. Didn't make the away days at that point. Martin O'Neill brought his side here. We'd only been just promoted to what's now League One. It was Division 2 at the time, and Wycombe Wanderers, not long out of non-league, were taking on some pretty big sides. They'd already been to Huddersfield Town and won the first ever game at their new stadium, and then they rocked up here at St Andrews. And if I can just hide that comment. Here we go. Let's see what happened. Martin O'Neill talks us through it. He was manager at the time, of course, and this was taken from the end of season video review of the season that year. But yeah, Wycombe Wanderers headed to St Andrews to face a star-studded, quite richly assembled Birmingham City side managed by Barry Fry. And here's how it went.
However, I mean, we followed it up at St Andrews and a glorious night there. We went to Birmingham City and we won. Great goal by Cyril. And Cyril's brother was playing for Birmingham City, and Barry had paid for $250,000 for David, who I think is not a bad player at all. And all the Birmingham fans were saying that he'd obviously get the wrong Regis at this stage. Cyril and backs to the wall job that evening. The last 20 minutes, it was all Birmingham City, but we showed great resilience as we had done. Suddenly, we have played 4 games in the league and we've got 10 points. And 2 massive away wins at Birmingham City and Huddersfield Town. We couldn't have asked for a better start.
So here we are then, back at St Andrews 26 years later. Cyril Regis, what a wonderful striker he was for many clubs, and it was a privilege for Wycombe Wanderers to have him in their ranks that season, and as Martin alluded to, playing against his brother Dave Regis in that game and coming out on top. Let's have a couple more messages. Jerry Saunders, come on the Blues/Reds, certainly the Reds tonight, and let's have good results. My Brummy mate can't crow. Yeah, no real rivalry so far with Birmingham City. As we say, we haven't crossed paths in many years, and we find that, aren't we, a lot in the Championship at the moment, playing teams we haven't played for some time, and that is the beauty of winning promotion last year, escaping some of those regular haunts up and down the country. Let's have a shout out also to Mark Lockwood. Good luck, Wycombe. Let's get another 3 points. Thank you for joining us on Chairboys Live. Cannot stress enough, make sure you watch the game. Wycombe Wanderers are in form, certainly in terms of performances, but also in results. Good draw and a fantastic win in the past week, and looking to build on that again tonight. So a few more shout outs to you. Joanne Frost, come on boys, get well soon. Gareth, don't be overdoing it. I guarantee he will be shouting at his screen tonight and kicking every ball and heading every ball and probably driving his family mad. There'll be nobody getting any sleep in the Ainsworth household tonight, I'm sure. But that's our manager, rock and roll. We wouldn't have him any other way. Thank you to Val Jenkinson, who says, come on Wycombe, and Ben Loxley as well. Let's get that win, absolutely. Well, we did get a win at the weekend, and it was a fantastic victory against the Sheffield Wednesday side, who came into the game on disappointing form. I think they'd say they'd lost to Luton and Rotherham in their previous 2 encounters, and came to Adams Park probably expecting an easier ride than they got against Richard Dobson's side on the day. But let's not forget, Sheffield Wednesday picked up a really impressive victory last night against Bournemouth, who previously hadn't lost. So I think it shows the strength of Sheffield Wednesday, and what a great win it was. And let's just remind you of those highlights from Saturday's win.
Again, so much space in the centre here for Sheffield Wednesday. Ball brought forward, Patterson turns to his right boot. Can he get the shot away? He can. Good save from Allsop. Ball stolen again here by Wycombe. Game really opening up for both sides in the last 10 minutes or so. Edge of the area, can he steer it in? Horgan is matched by Wildsmith. The corner here for Wycombe. Wheeler gets ahead to it and they lead! His first of the season. How big could that turn out to be for Wycombe? A wonderful flicked header. They have the lead. What a goal. Wycombe down this right-hand side now. Again toward Akinfenwa, again with the chest down. Oh, and again a superb save from the Owls keeper. Wycombe deal with it first time. Can they deal with it again? Sheffield Wednesday trying to find a space, trying to find something to get themselves level. That's another wonderful save. The two goalkeepers having an absolute world-class battle. Forward it comes. And that will be that. What a massive, massive day for Wycombe as they register their first championship win, albeit without their manager in the dugout. They do look quite rightly delighted. Jubilation then for Wycombe. But what next for Wednesday? It's finished Wycombe 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
So there we have it, a fantastic 1-0 victory in our house. We played by our rules, and let's hope we get that first away win tonight at St Andrews. Strong opposition, as I mentioned previously, in Birmingham City, currently sitting 12th in the league. And for those of you joining us and questioning why the league table has changed around, yes, Sheffield Wednesday have had their points deduction reduced. Wycombe Wanderers sit bottom of the championship. We don't need to repeat it. It's only a short-term measure, don't you worry about it. Wycombe Wanderers are on the rise, and we'll be stinking out the second tier for a long time to come. Don't worry about that. Let's have some more shout outs to you. Thank you to Elbel for getting in touch, loving the show. Come on, boys, you've got this. The boys certainly do. There's fantastic optimism and just positivity when I saw the boys earlier when they were arriving in their makeshift the hospitality lounges. It's like a cruise ship down there actually, but like quite a vintage one with all the small rooms being decked out for various hospitality suites and massage beds now being occupied in them, and not quite the usual changing room experience that Wycombe would expect in the Championship. I think it was a director's room at Luton Town, and certainly at Fleetwood in the playoffs it was the concourse where the hot dogs are usually sold. Wycombe Wanderers adapting to, as everybody is, COVID-safe stadia and precautions. Nathan Rogers is predicting a 2-0 win for Wycombe, and wouldn't that be great for Ryan Alsop tonight, a Brummie lad. Birmingham was his hometown club, and his parents have been invited tonight as special guests of the club to come and see their boy playing here at St Andrews, as one of the very select number of guests that the clubs are permitted to bring. So fantastic that the club have really facilitated that and allowed Mr. and Mrs. Alsop to see their boy play here at St Andrews, just down the road from where he grew up. Prediction, which we would love to see, would be Bayo to follow in big Cyril Regis footsteps tonight. 1-0 to Wycombe. Come on the chair, boys. Well, absolutely. How old was Cyril when he scored here? Probably younger than Bayo was. And Cyril was certainly in the twilight of his career. Thank you to the others of you that have got in touch. We are 7:24, so about 20 minutes away from kickoff. We'll be leaving you shortly. Make sure you stick the kettle on or get something out of the fridge. Make sure you've got your iFollow pass. Commentary tonight is from Phil Catchpole and Brian Jeeves. They're sat, in fact, just in front of me, chewing the fat ahead of kickoff. They will bring you every kick live on iFollow. 4-camera coverage, graphics, replays, the works, so you can enjoy the game from the comfort of your TV and in the warm as well, because the temperatures are dropping here in the Midlands, and a chilly night awaits, I think, particularly as we get into the second half. Wycombe on the road again on Saturday up to Nottingham Forest. That one will actually come with 6-camera coverage. It's been selected for an overseas broadcast, which doesn't affect iFollow viewers here in the UK. There may be some changes for our overseas viewers in terms of their territories and which ones are showing the game, so do check with your local broadcasters for that one. But yes, Wycombe Wanderers playing a league game at Nottingham Forest. Unthinkable for long periods of both clubs' careers really, but here we are in the Championship. So that one will be live on iFollow, 6-camera coverage, a bit of a slicker show than you might get tonight, but certainly do make sure you watch the two of them. Thank you to Josh for getting in touch. Come on, you Blues. Many of you up and down the country and across the world tuning in tonight. Of course, we remain gutted that fans cannot be here to join us on our Championship adventure so far. The boys commented all the time. Gareth this morning on Chairboys Live, you can watch it back, commenting how much it hurts him really playing in these games and leading the team, but without you guys roaring the team on from the stands. And we really do believe you may have made a difference in some of these games so far. So let's see what lockdown brings and the other side of it, and let's hope we get some fans in 2021 to cheer the boys on to Championship survival, and then we can have as normal a year as possible next season, hopefully, in the second tier in English football. So thank you again for joining. You can see the team at the bottom. For those of you just joining, Wycombe are unchanged for the second game. So same starting 11, but the same subs as well. Stockdale, Tafazoli is back on the bench. He was a sub on Saturday, but he obviously had the injury. He picked up against Swansea. He's back in the fold. Ikpeazu, Bloomfield, Onyedinma, Samuel, and Anis Mehmeti, who has certainly shone in his 2 cameo appearances off the bench so far. So with that, we will bid you farewell. As I say, go and stick a kettle on, get yourself a snack, something out the fridge, and settle down to watch Birmingham City versus Wycombe Wanderers live on iFollow via the website. We will have updates on social media as well, but the best place to watch is iFollow with your match pass. So take care for now, and we'll see you later.